Greetings, friends. Happy full moon. This is Elizabeth Schermer with an intuitive message for this evening's full moon, this month's full moon that happens at 10:23 p.m. Pacific time, Friday, November 3rd. And this is the Taurus full moon for 2017. The tarot card for Taurus is the Hierophant. And so I want to say a little bit about the practical nature of this moon and then the higher spiritual potentials that are so powerfully available to each of us right now. The energy of Taurus is very much about being in the world. It's about embodiment, it's about grounding, it's about loving physicality and learning and exploring the nature of resources in our realm in an earthy way. In the transcendent level, what Taurus represents is so clearly communicated in this card of the Hierophant, which is the quality of mastery in the world through embodiment and connection with the Mother of Earth, with our own inner nature of what we call divine feminine, in terms of how we learn to be nurtured in this world and how we learn to nurture others through our connection and through our embodiment and through our ability to hold the light. The word Hierophant is an ancient Egyptian term for a high priest, and the priests or Hierophants in Egypt were scholars and scientists. They were astrologers, they were teachers, they were healers, and they taught us how to embody our own highest potential, which is the five-pointed star at the heart, which is the quality of what it means to be it's a symbol for what it means to be fully human. So know that at the most basic level, this full moon is giving you an infusion of inspiration and deep desire to revisit and to connect more deeply in what it means to be human and what it means to live fully in this three-dimensional realm, to connect with the resources of your life and the lineage of your life and the gifts and abilities and tools that you have, to connect with those, to feel the full truth of who you are, and then to extend those gifts and resources into a connection of something bigger. And so that's the power of the Scorpio moon, which is the month of Scorpio, the zodiac month of Scorpio, which the full moon is occurring in. The sun is in Scorpio right now, and one of the ways we can understand the power of Scorpio is through the Prince of Cups, who is the court card for Scorpio. And this is a very personal way to understand the power of this month, which is to move deeply in our heart and make a commitment to show up from our hearts, from our strength and from our inner power, our willingness to go deep, and then move forward in our life, making decisions based on the alignment of our heart and our will. So the princes are warriors. This is the month of the warrior of the heart, where we're learning about our power from deep within. Now, can be hard to talk about because the power of this month of Scorpio is deep. It's the power of the Empress, who was the final card in our full moon spread, our new moon spread 2 weeks ago. And we've been exploring this energy in mystery school circles the last couple of weeks, and we keep finding that we don't have words to fully express the depths of our feelings. That's very much a quality of Scorpio, because we're going deep now. We're connecting with truth. We're connecting with our commitment and our deepest will to show up for the truth of who we are and our vision of what's possible beyond what's already been created in the world, beyond circumstances of conflict and even chaos that are abundant right now. There's a lot of dismantling happening, and it can be super stressful. And for people who are directly involved in the dismantling, it is traumatic. There's abundant suffering right now for many people. And so the larger message here is that all of us are being required now to connect with our deep inner truth and our commitment to fully showing up for how we can be of service and how we can participate fully through participation with others. So the dialectic, or the polarity of the Taurus moon in the month of Scorpio is this ability now to connect within to our own desire, to our ambition to show up, and to bring the truth, all the truth of who we are, including the resources of our life, the resources of our self and of our energy and of our gifts and abilities, to bring those resources to the larger reality through a commitment of our heart to really contribute and participate. So I'll dive now into the spread. I want to say that the message is, again, so deep that I invite you to feel this. I'll do my best to find words for the depth of my feeling. When Steve and I met yesterday to talk about the astrology article, I found myself several times moved to tears just because of the deep beauty and the significance of this time and this importance of this time and the power that's available and the requirement of each of us, the strength required of us right now to be willing to look beyond the surface of things, the willingness to look beyond the way things are and to trust that something deeper is happening, that we don't need to fight against things, we don't need to react in fear or anger, or we don't need to react and push against what we don't like. There's abundant examples of things we don't like right now. What is required is the deeper feeling of our power and our commitment to fully show up. And that is what is available. And the knowledge, when we align within that we are being held, that there's a greater truth that is available, and that we can be warriors of light. We each are warriors of light. So beyond everything else, that's the significance of what this moon is bringing. The astrology chart for the full moon is a bowl pattern, which is a kind of container that holds our awareness of opposition and contrast in order for us to feel that, to receive the infusion of support to deal with contrast and to learn and to expand into new understandings of reality by seeing both sides of situations that maybe perhaps we have been unconsciously assuming is reality, when actually there's a whole other reality that's possible when we expand beyond the way things have been in the past. So if you want to learn a little bit more about this signature of defining new meanings of success, you can listen to the new moon intuitive reading from a couple weeks ago, because my intention always with these full moons is myself personally to ground into that message and then ask what we can learn now during this point of illumination as we're midway in the cycle. And so we're learning about new meanings of success and what success is, how we can ground into the world six of success by trusting in the grids of light, trusting in our awareness, and then in consciousness receiving the systems of support that we need through the realm of spirit. Okay, so the spread in moving into the drawing the full moon spread, I did it first thing when I woke up this morning. I grounded into the Hierophant, and I grounded into the Empress, and I grounded into the Prince of Cups, knowing that we have this chart that's a container now to hold us and support us, to connect with our own power in moving forward and receiving new understandings of how we can contribute and participate more fully. So the cards, as they have been doing recently, jumped out of my hands. I shuffled. It was really quick to come into alignment, and then I drew them right off the top of the deck, as I always do. The first card in the center, if you can see behind me, in the middle of the spread in position of awareness. How can we best show up now? What's the starting point for us and the returning point to equilibrium? And it's our friend adjustment, which is the card of our commitment to inner alignment and the necessity right now of using our tools to maintain equilibrium. The other side of this card is to be patient with yourself when you go out of equilibrium, because there's so much change happening that all of us wobble from day to day, from moment to moment. And so we need to continue to strengthen our muscles in order to return to equilibrium, and also to rely on our systems of support so that we can strengthen our ability to contribute and to maintain coherence. Another aspect of adjustment is our connection to higher awareness, to new insights and new perceptions of reality, and the overall theme of this month of this lunar month of new understandings of how to participate and come into relationship with the world. So a super powerful affirmation that this card appeared in the center of the spread. We are on track. You are on track in your life. Just know that the alignment with truth comes from your commitment to internal alignment first before you step into relationship with your life. Okay, and then in the position of circumstances, a card we've been working with, this is making my nose run, excuse me. In the position of circumstances, the Six of Cups, which we've been working with in our daily messages, this is the card for Sun in Scorpio. It's where the sun is right now in the, there's a sequence of the minor arcana that moves through the year, and the sun right now with the tarot cards is inhabiting this position. At this time of year, and with this full moon, because this card came up in circumstances, we have the ability to connect to the deeper beauty and truth of what is. So the card is called Pleasure. I like to use the word beauty for this card with a capital B. It's the emotional experience of harmony that creates coherence in your heart. It's the highest expression of inner alignment when you can truly feel the perfection of all that is. And that can even happen when you are simultaneously experiencing grief or holding space for someone else's suffering, or you're in physical pain. There's a way in which through our consciousness we can hold the commitment to higher order that enables us to participate and support healing in our world. So this card in position of circumstances says that in this moon and in the coming days you will have access to this ability, which enables you to be a warrior of the heart and stay supported. One of the questions we're exploring in Mystery School is how can we stay aligned and supported even when we're helping others? And this card holds secrets to that, because it's through the commitment to receiving emotional support when we need it, and asking for help using our tools. And so that's available to you. New understandings, new awareness, new alignment with higher frequencies of light that will support you to maintain coherence in the world. And then all the way to the right in the position of spiritual support is the Five of Wands. Called Strife, I call this card Stress. Stress is a modern word for the strife, and the strife that was intended here. And this, in the position of spirit, represents our awareness, the reality of strife and chaos and dissolution in our world. The card came up reversed, and in this case it's signifying, let me just drop in because I got the message this morning, but I want to ask for a clear message for you right now. The reversal, for those of you listening to this video, is the word is relax and release. Allow the release of what is happening. Allow the chaos to be a signature of release, and allow the mystery. So know that there's a larger order that's being held, and your job is to do your best to maintain your own alignment and to commit to your frequency of appreciation and trust no matter what, and to know the truth, the overriding wings of Ma'at, of justice. These two wings are the symbol for the adjustment card, the overriding symbol for the adjustment card. So there is a higher order of balance beyond what we can understand, and that's why this card appeared in the position of spirit. Okay, I always draw another card. Today I ended up drawing two just by impulse. They were right off the top of the deck. The first card is the Nine of Cups, happiness. So the final thing to consider, or another message of practical support for this spread, is that we are indeed on a path of new levels of emotional fulfillment and emotional strength. The Nine of Cups is a transcendent quality of mastery of the heart. So in the month of Scorpio, which is also the suit of cups, what we're practicing and developing is new strength and new will and new abilities to commit to our heart, and to the willingness to be vulnerable, the willingness to extend beyond our comfort zone in order to connect more fully with the world and bring the truth of who we are, bring our own light into the world. So it requires risk taking, it requires vulnerability, it requires our using our tools and committing to love and kindness toward ourselves and others. So this is a perfect reflection of the theme of the month, which was the central card for our new moon spread, was the Hermit. And this quality, this is a 9, this is one of the cards of the Hermit, and this quality of commitment to inner truth and inner alignment is our commitment to walking our path from light and guidance. It's what we are all coming forward and rising together with, is this commitment to participating in creating something new. So this felt super complete. I had the impulse. I was guided to take the next card, and very often when that happens, it's for something like this. So the last card, the 5th card in the reading, is the Hierophant, which is a lovely affirmation from our guides and our helpers and the non-physical alignment who brings forward these messages. This is a great affirmation that indeed there is order, there is magic, because this is the card for the full moon that I started with. So trust in the alignment and trust in a higher perfection even when circumstances seem confusing. Be willing to be vulnerable with those close to you when you feel uncertain, when you need help, when you need extra support. It's very important right now that we align together and share this journey and strengthen each other and walk together. That's the power of Scorpio, the power of inner connection. So thank you for being present to this message. It was a little longer than usual, I think. It was hard to bring everything forward that I wanted to say in a concise way. And so I hope this helps you feel and align with your own depths, with your own emotional truth, with the nonverbal parts of this truth that are beyond language, and reside in feeling and in knowingness and in the strength of the truth of who you really are and the beauty of what you're here to do. And know that with the gift of this full moon, the final message I'm getting for you today is, know that with the gift of this full moon, there is infinite light raining down. And I think this is why I was getting so emotional yesterday working on the astrology article, because I could feel the light and the beauty of the light and the strength and power of the light. So know in the coming 2 weeks that you have a new ability to connect with contrast and to observe contrast with curiosity, to see patterns that perhaps you've never seen before. So don't react, avoid the tendency to react to uncomfortable situations, whether personal or big picture, as if something is wrong. Because right now you're going to have new abilities to see things and to rise above them, even as you yourself may be experiencing physical or emotional discomfort. Infinite light, infinite support, infinite new abilities to expand your capacity to experience beauty in the midst of the most messy chaos, which is part of birth. Okay. Have a really great full moon, and thanks for being part of pulling these messages forward.